All right. We need to mark when I do it though. Okay. All right. So we're going to call the meeting to order at 4:32 p.m. Board of Trustees regular meeting is now called to order. We welcome members of the public. Instructions on making public comment are posted in item number 1 on the agenda. We will ask at each action item if there is a public comment. Remember, can you please do roll call?
Yes. And Trustee Dizon. Here. Trustee Dodd. Trustee Kishnev. Here. Trustee Olson. Trustee DeLuna. Trustee Rios. Trustee Iverson. And Trustee Baker.
Here. So let's see. Student trustee Dizon, can you lead us in the pledge? As we gather today, it is important to acknowledge that Napa Valley College and the surrounding Napa Valley sit on the unceded traditional, ancestral, and contemporary homelands of the Miwok, Patwin, who are comprised of 3 federally recognized tribes, the Catchil-Dehé Band of Winton Indians of the Calusa Indian Community, the Quetzal-Dehé Band of Winton Indians, and the Yocha-Dehé Winton Nation and Wapo, including the Mishwa Wapo, also known as the Anasatis peoples. As part of the Napa Valley College's mission of transforming lives through excellent education and professional opportunities that are student-centered, equity-focused, and community-oriented, and in accordance with the college's values of accountability, integrity, inclusion, respect, social justice, and sustainability, we make this acknowledgement. We also affirm that this acknowledgement is insufficient. It does not undo the harm that has been and continues to be perpetrated against Indigenous people, the land, and water. May we hold steady in our commitment to be in solidarity and in action to seek equity and justice with the Miwok, Patwin, and Wapo peoples. We are now ready to adopt the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? None, then we can adopt as presented. And now we're moving on to constituent group reports. Associated Students of Napa Valley College, are they with us?
We were expecting to see them in person, but they've not arrived quite yet, it seems.
Okay, we also have classified Senate report. Anyone here for that?
Similarly, they were intended to be in person, but I don't see them virtually or otherwise.
And classified association report? Still nothing. And no report from admin confidential Senate report, and no, I'm assuming no report from academic Senate or faculty association as well.
We are expecting our faculty next week, so we weren't expecting anything.
Yeah, that's right. They still have another week off. Bless them. All right. Moving on into closed session. At this time, the board will devote a total of up to 15 minutes to hear comments regarding closed session agenda items. Individual comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Is there any public comment?
There is no public comment.
All right, then we'll close that public comment. And at this time, the board will move into closed session. We anticipate returning at approximately 5:30 p.m. The items we will be discussing are public employment performance evaluation. So we will see you in about an hour. Closed session. So moving on to public comment for general. This public comment opportunity is governed by the California Brown Act. The board is not able to engage in any level of conversation or discussion, but we look forward to this opportunity to gather community input. At this time, the board will devote up to 15 minutes to review comments to the Board of Trustees regarding any subject not appearing as an agenda item for this meeting, but over which the board has jurisdiction. Each comment shall last no longer than 3 minutes. Do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment.
All right, then moving on to 8.1. This is the consent calendar. If everyone's had an opportunity to review, I just need a motion and a second.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve from trustee DeLuna and a second from trustee Kishnev. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. So moving on to 9.1, appointment of trustee members to board committees. So first one we're going to do is audit and finance, and I am appointing trustee Dodd, trustee Olson, and trustee Chris Kishnev, if everyone is amenable. Then we have the McPherson Award Selection Committee. I'm appointing myself. Dr. Schenk Award is trustee Kishnev. To the DOS Foundation Board, I'm going to appoint trustee Kishnev. If you want that. All right. And for BWT Board, wait, that one's a separate action, correct? Actually, I need to back up because DOS is a separate action. So we're done with that. We do have two ad hoc committees that for the time being are going to remain with their current members, but we may make changes as needed throughout the year. So that's it for 9.1. 9.2 is appointment trustee member to district auxiliary services, and I'm appointing trustee Kishnev, as already mentioned. Then 9.3 for appointment of trustee member to Viticulture and Winery Technology Foundation. I am asking trustee Rios to continue in that capacity. And for 9.4, for appointment of trustee member to the Napa Valley College Foundation Board, I am again asking trustee Dodd to remain in that position. So unless anybody has any questions or concerns, I think we're done. So we can move on to 13.1, administrative services, information, discussion, action items. This is the information item on the current fiscal year's unrestricted general fund 11 revenue and expenditures report. And there he is. Run. Mr. Reeves, you can please present Fund 11.
Thank you, trustee Baker. I suspect I'm under additional scrutiny since you now have the gavel. Let's take a look. This is we're at 6/12 of the budget. Upper right-hand corner gives you at least a mile marker about where we are in the fiscal year. A reminder that this is a good measure, but not a perfect measure of where we are because of timing, etc. We'll begin with revenues, total revenues. We're at about 48%, so we are in good shape. You notice that compared to last month anyway, we received our first tranche of property tax revenue. So far, so good. At this point, compared to last year, we're about 1.1 million under what we received at this point last year. Under salaries, we're at about 46% at this point in the year. Remember, we still have the set-asides that we have not allocated yet, but we have budgeted for. So I don't have any particular concerns here. Benefits are in the same category at about 42% of 50% at 50% of the year. Total books and supplies are at 35%. We're trending a little bit. Trustee Rios will point out that we're 102% on line 32. It's a small number. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll provide an adjusted budget based on the reallocation of those salary and benefits numbers, and we'll make that adjustment there. Under total other operating supplies, we're at 44%. So we're trending in a reasonable position at halfway through the school year and halfway through the fiscal year. And we're at 110%, I noticed. Let's see, on capital outlay. We reclassed some of our capital, some of our operating expenses to capital, And then we have some software that we moved down there. So that's why we're trending there at a bit over the budgeted amount. Our total expenses at this point in the year are 45% of budget. So again, no particular concerns here. We're at about $2.7 million under budget at 45% at this point. So there's no trend here suggesting that we have any particular concerns on the operating budget side. So with that, I would certainly entertain any questions.
Does anybody have questions? I just had two quick ones. I was wondering, so the set aside money that we were just referencing, is that get expended in January?
The one-time payments for classified have been paid. Those revenues have not entered the budget yet. A good portion of the set aside for classified has been paid because it brought their salary schedules up. The other portion for faculty has not been paid yet.
Okay.
So you'll see more activity, I suspect, in the next several weeks as the faculty contract gets settled.
Okay. I was just wondering if we would expect by next month to have something that felt a little more true up.
By next month?
Yeah, or if it might be March.
I would hope so. I can't promise that. We've been in negotiations on these contracts for a long time, and we'll push to have that available. We have some other, we do need to provide the board an adjusted budget that trues everything up. And there's some opportunities to provide some additional information at that time as well.
And the other question I had, I noticed that the capital outlay from this month from last month actually went down. And I was just curious, if, did we get a refund or did we just reclass some actuals?
There's some reclassing going on there. And I think we're actually going to be able to true that up when we present you an adjusted budget.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I just had a quick question on, we were 2.7 million under budget. Where were we last fiscal year? Just for comparison, if you have it.
I don't have that. Where we were at this point relative to our budget and expenditures, we ran last year under budget as well. But I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. I'd have to go back and get that.
Good job.
All right, then. So moving on, thank you very much to President and Board reports. Dr. Powell.
Good evening, everyone. It's a really exciting time because classes start next week on Wednesday and we come back on Tuesday with Flex Day activities. Of course, everyone's welcome to attend those. And for our classes that are starting, we have 45% that are fully enrolled right now, another 55 that have some space. 143 of those are in-person sections that have space available. And of course, we do have many students who wait until classes start to come in. So we have our add drop period open through February 4th for full term classes. So we welcome all students, of course. And I wanted to follow up on a report I made in November on credit for prior learning. And this is one of the components of the Vision for Success 2030. And we have developed a CPL webpage, which has a primary purpose of making sure that there's publicly available information. So when students are trying to figure out how does something work, they can go to this webpage and find all of the forms, all of the information. So I've provided the link there in case people have interest. And of course, our intention is that for people who have work experience that might be relevant to a course that we teach, that we can provide appropriate credit as it transfers. So we've started, as an example, the program that has been most fully committed to awarding credit for prior learning so far is our emergency services program, our EMS program. So they have translated all of their, someone who is already certificated as EMS personnel can receive CPL for those courses. So that's really exciting. And we have ever expanding list of qualifying courses. We now have 42. In November, we had 30. So that grows and grows. Those include both general education courses like math and English that a student can take an exam in order to get CPL for, as well as career education courses. Another thing that I'm very excited about is how our management information systems information is being updated to compile all of the records around CPL. So MIS data is what we report to the chancellor's office to relay what student records indicate regarding CPL awards per class. And if we scroll down just a bit, you can see that our efforts to ensure integration as well as to increase the number of awards that we have, there's a very significant difference that you'll see between fall of 24. This time last year, we reported 12 CPL records to the chancellor's office. And this past fall 2025, we will be reporting at least 226 records. And I say that because there are still some CPL petitions that are being processed. So it'll be somewhere around 226. This is a really exciting change because I think in terms of what we want to show to the public about what we are doing at the college, it's very important to have this information in the MIS record system. So I'm excited about the changes in CPL, and it's likely not the last time I'll be sharing information about this with you. Thank you.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and community, Napa Valley College community. Got a couple of quick updates. Want to just really highlight the work that the student affairs staff have done, specifically in the enrollment, counseling, and financial aid department. We've hosted our Napa Valley College one-stop registration days over this last week. And last week, January 3rd and the 14th from 9 to 3 o'clock in the Welcome Center. This was an opportunity for students, community members to come to campus and get all their registration needs done in one visit. So really this model of the one-stop shop is something I've been speaking about for some time. And we've been able to really do this one-stop model, especially in the beginning of the semester and towards the end. Long-term goal is to see how that continues to grow and become more officially part of what we do at NVC. So very happy and excited for that work. NVC Welcome Days. This is January 21st and 22nd, next week, obviously, as we start the semester off. That'll be 8:30 in the morning to 12. We'll have staff at the Library Plaza in the Bear Fountain near the 1300 building, there to answer questions for students, to just be a friendly face as new students come to campus, connect with them, give them a cup of coffee, a donut, and just welcome them to NVC. And I like to get out there too and work and talk with students, and many of them will be their first time here, and others will be returning. So excited for that. The welcome days. Also want to highlight the Cash for College aid workshops that are happening this current semester. And these are really important opportunities for our students and community to get help completing the FAFSA, the CADA, other financial aid forms. These happen here on campus, and you will see the dates that are there listed throughout the semester. My final updates about River Trail Village. Want to give props and much love to Ty Riley, our director, Marcus Young, our assistant director, who led the training for all the RAs, new RAs, for them, to really get onboarded for River Trail Village. So they've been doing that work over this past week. I got to get out there and meet with the RAs and basically just all components of River Trail Village requirements, and also connect them to college services and whatnot. So we want to continue to build that program so we make sure that our housing staff are really part of what we do here at NVC, and it's working seamlessly. Current numbers at our RTV, about 55% occupancy at this point in time. So haven't seen a huge shift over the break. That's where we stand right now. A couple of save the dates for you. Reminder, I'm going to have these on my reports every month. The Viva Mariachi Festival coming March 21st. Again, please get your tickets. And then commencement, again, reminder for folks, May 15th, shifting until Friday this year. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Armando. I'll just focus on a very few areas here. I'd like to focus on the filing of our request for exemption from 50% law. Our plan was submitted. The Board of Governors should rule on that very quickly. For the last 3 weeks, we've been deeply involved in the bond refunding initiative. There's some good news to share here. First of all, Dr. Powell and I spent last Monday morning with Moody's, the rating agency in San Francisco, to make our case for what we're doing at the institution, the very good things that are happening here. And we came away with an expectation that we would do okay in the bond market based on that bond rating, that credit opinion. Yesterday, we learned that our credit rating was being upgraded. And what they cited was the district benefits from strong financial reserves following a multi-year turnaround under the current management team. The board is to be given great credit for the kind of oversight they provided, including the work of Dr. Powell at the cabinet and the finance team. We are in a different place than we were 5 years ago, and it will serve us well. It'll serve the taxpayers well as we go to this refinancing with this bond. They will be able to save more money, marginally more money than had our bond rating not been upgraded. So that's all good news. That bond will be marketed in the next several days and sold, we anticipate, within the next few weeks. So I'll provide you an update on that front. The Wine Education Center is moving along nicely in phase 2. We met this morning to discuss progress. Our finish date has been moved to March the 3rd. It's been extended a little bit due to the rainfall events that we've experienced recently. So unless there are other questions, I will conclude my report.
All right. And just as a note, since Charlie's not here, her report is in the documents. So I think now, anybody have anything? Oh, wait, sorry, I missed something. Standing committee and other appointment reports. We don't have anything from anyone because I don't think anybody's had any meetings. Okay, so now, anybody have any future agenda item requests? No. All right then, trustee and board chair reports. Student trustee Dazan.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be back. NVC had our spring retreat earlier today, and so we're already getting the ball rolling on things that we want to get done for this semester, and so we're pretty excited to be involved. And then as the semester begins, I personally I have plans where I'm going to be reaching out to faculty so that I can speak in their classrooms and try to get direct input from students about things that they feel that they need around campus, just so that I can get more direct feedback from them. And then we're also working on preparing for Common Grounds in February to be an avenue to talk about things in our budget to be able to communicate that to students. And that'll conclude my report.
Thank you. Trustee Dodd?
What name did you say? Had nothing to report.
Okay, trustee Kishnev.
I have no report.
Trustee DeLuna. Trustee Rios. Trustee Iverson. Okay, well, the only thing I would say in my report, two quick things. One is I happened to run into one of our residents from River Trail at an event here in town last weekend, and she was formerly incarcerated, recently decarcerated, and was just telling me how much she appreciates the opportunity to be here on campus, and the affordability of the unit and the wraparound support that's available has really enabled her to go back into school, get a job, and she said it has saved me. So I just wanted to pass that along. She did mention that parking sometimes is a problem though, so I'll follow up on that later. So, and the only other thing I would say is, now that it is official news, that Dr. Powell will be leaving us. It was in the paper yesterday, or was that today? Yes, today. Okay. So just wanted to thank him. We've still got you for a few months, but wanted to thank you for all the hard work that you have done. And I know that the full board is very appreciative and will remain supportive of the hard work you have yet to do before you leave. So at that, we are adjourned at 5:56. It just turned.